All right, would you believe I have another pool issue? So I'm going to show you what's going on this time. This is the multi-port valve on a Hayward sand filter, and it's old, but the filter part of it at least is still in really good shape. But as you can see, it has cracked and we have a leak. Now, I did try to repair this with some JB weld and it held up for a few days, but I think the later in the afternoon the sun hits and I think it causes this to expand, just to heat up, and so the crack reappeared. So we're going to have to replace this whole top assembly here, the entire thing, multi-port valve. And unfortunately, I don't have union fittings on any of my piping that goes into this valve, so we're going to have to redo a bunch of this plumbing. I do have union fittings to put back on this, so that if I ever need to disconnect the piping from the valve on my sand filter in the future, I'll be able to do that. So let's gather up some tools and parts and let's get started. All right, so let's just turn off our pump. That's better. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to cut our pipe. We're going to have to redo a whole lot of this. So what I'm going to do is just initially cut, well, I'll figure out where I'm going to cut this, but we're going to have to redo quite a bit of this piping here to make everything work the way I want it to work with installing the union fittings, which you'll see here in a bit. So let's get started. So we've got our pipes disconnected. Now we have to loosen up this band that holds this multi-port valve to the top. Whoop. Go Brazil. Listen to that. Wait. That one. All right, so that's one half of it. Here's the other half. And this whole valve should just lift off. All right, we should be able to twist and lift. Jeez. Jeez, what the heck? Oh, there we go. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That is our standpipe. We were hoping this was going to come off of this, but it did not. Instead, we broke our pipe. So what that means is we have to pull all the sand out of this and put in a new standpipe in the inside mechanism. I actually have one of those. I just don't have the sand. So what I'm going to do is just set this back here temporarily, and we're going to go to a plan B. Okay, so I have all of the sand removed from our sand filter housing, and there it is right there. It's quite a bit of sand. I would say it's probably 3 to 4 50-pound bags of sand that this filter that I have requires. But I'm going to do something different, and we'll come to that in a minute. But I'm not going to be using sand. I'm going to try a different kind of product that is supposed to work pretty much just as well as that. The other thing is, and of course, I didn't intend to be doing this particular job here, but was left with no choice. What I wanted to do was just remove this head, and I was supposed to be able to just twist it off from this standpipe here. The problem is the standpipe cracked right at the bottom where this bottom piece is for the filter mechanism. And as you can see, it's just really thin, cheap piping. It's not Schedule 40 or something like that. If it had been, it would have held up better. But this is the piece that sits in the bottom. And how I get this out is these little pieces here just fold in, and I was able to pull it right out. So all of that is garbage. This is the handle that goes to that. We have all of this brand new that we're going to be putting in here in just a bit. Here is our new piping, and of course this is steel thin stuff too. It is what it is. We'll make use of that however we have to, but this is going to be going in. This piece fits right on top here. We'll get that attached here in just a moment, and you'll have to excuse the wind noise. I have a fan out here. It's just heinously hot. In fact, it's the next day. I got so hot yesterday when I was working on getting all of that sand out that I just finally had to stop, go inside and cool off. That's life in Florida in the summer, I guess. So let me get this together, and then we'll get this thing, we'll start getting this inside the filter housing, and then we'll get our other component, which is the multiport valve that will go on top. So let's get all that going. Let's see, I gotta push that down. Have to get that below this, and then we can flip these out. Okay, so we just have that sitting there. Now we need our new multiport valve. All right. Now, what I think I want to do is put a little bit of lubricant inside this so that when it slips down over top of that standpipe, if I need to get this back off again, I don't want it to be stuck. So let me go get some lubricant that I can put in here. I'll just use something like Vaseline and like Vaseline jelly, I should say, and we'll go that route. Got some Vaseline petroleum jelly. Just going to put a little bit of that right inside here. All right. And I need to make sure that this is going to be long enough. So let's pull this back out. I'm going to compare it to the old one. Yeah, we just need to lengthen this a little bit. Okay, I think that's going to work. All right. Now we'll get our multiport valve. One of the things that we're going to have to do is there's a pressure gauge that has to screw into here. I'll get this installed first, and then we'll put the pressure gauge on there. So it's at this point we would normally put our bags of sand in. We would cover the pipe so that we didn't get any sand in the pipe. But again, we're not using sand. So what we are going to be using is this product. These are fiber filter balls, and I have enough here for this size filter, and this takes the place of sand. And there are pros and cons to this. If you have a pool that is protected or covered with a screen lanai like I have, and you get very little debris and that kind of thing in the pool, then this product is actually probably would be the preferred way to go if you have a sand filter and you want to upgrade it, or your sand is worn out and you don't want to hassle with trying to refill it with sand all over again. You can buy something like this. If you don't have a protected pool and you do get a fair amount of debris in it, this may not be the best route to go. And the reason being is what I've been told is that these don't, when you backwash your filter, these don't backwash quite as well as sand does. And the general rule of thumb is if you really want to get these clean, you need to disconnect the multiport valve, pull it off, and pull these out of your filter and wash them down. And actually, they say you can put them in a washing machine and wash them, then throw them in the dryer. So, but that's what we're going to use for mine. Again, there's caveats. If you have a protected pool, it's probably going to be okay. So let's go ahead and start dropping these in there. Again, we don't want to get any in that standpipe. We just want to toss them in around the edge. And I've got quite a few here. All right, you can see what we've got down in there. I've got a few more to put in, but that is what these things look like. I think in my case, it's about 6 pounds of these. So I'll finish putting these in, and then we'll get our multi-port valve right down on top of that, and then we'll have this part of the job completed. All right, so it turns out that this tail piece here is a little bit short. When I put it in here, my multi-port valve doesn't reach it, so I have taken the good part of the tail piece off the old multi-port valve. I have a new coupling, and it's considerably longer. I may have to shorten it a bit, but we'll see. I'm going to put it in here, and we're going to do a test fit. Just like so. And we'll see if this will... Oh, nice. There we go. So yeah, I don't know if... Well, I know I got the model number of the filter correct. It's just the tailpiece was just too short, but we managed. So there we go. Now we have to fill our filter with water. So we're going to let this fill up, and then I'll bring you right back. Our clamp. The clamp does not come with the replacement valve, so you have to keep the clamp from the old valve. Okay. Screw over here. Okay, so we have our water in there. We've got our bracket back on. Everything's secure. I have tested this just to make sure, boy, it works really smooth as well. So we'll just set that on the filter. Next, we just have to deal with our plumbing. And once we get our plumbing done, then we will be ready to turn the pump on, and we'll probably have to prime the pump. And I'll show you how we do that. And then hopefully everything is working well from there. Yeah, there is one more task. We have a pressure valve, or gauge, I should say. Look at that, it's already got Teflon tape on it. Turn that this way. There we go. Okay. Good. All right, so one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to take this threaded fitting, and they're going to go right in here. And we have to put some Teflon tape here. We have one that goes there, one that goes here, and then we have one over here on the other side. So let me get some Teflon tape. All right. Now we're going to put that one in. And we'll do our next one. And again, we're going to be generous with the Teflon tape. Okay. Okay. That should be perfectly good for that. I'll do this other one here, and then the next thing we're going to do is work on our union connections that is going to allow us in the future, if we need to take this multi-port valve head off, we'll be able to do it without having to redo all this plumbing. But right now I need to get the other adapter installed on the other side, and then we'll do those union connections. All right, we're going to do a little priming here. So we are done, and we got everything all buttoned up here. I'll show you what we finished up here. So there we go. We got all of our piping plumbed in. It's all just plumbed in pretty much like it was before. Made a couple of just little minor changes. These are our union fittings here. So if we need to ever do any more maintenance on this multi-port valve, we can just unscrew this right here, and right here, and all this pipe will just disconnect, and we'll be able to pull that multi-port valve right out. This is all the sand that came out of the filter, quite a bit, and all I did was just rake it out kind of flat. I'll let Mother Nature take care of the rest of it. I got to probably rake it out a little bit more. It's about the only thing I can do with it. It's not like you can toss it in a garbage can or anything like that, but at least here in Florida, a good portion of my soil is made up of sand anyway, so we'll just let that take care of itself. I'm not gonna lie, this project, it was a pain. It took several hours. I've never done that extensive of a overhaul on a pool filter, never mind a sand filter, but I estimate that I probably saved myself somewhere between $600 and $1,000 based on estimates from pool places that do work on systems like this. And I'm all in for probably a couple of $100 when you factor in the multi-bore valve, all the plumbing parts, the standpipe and laterals that I installed on the interior, plus the those fiber balls that I put in place in place of what had been sand. And it's working great, by the way. No issues at all. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So again, we have completed another project. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got something out of it, or at least entertainment value, if nothing else. And if you liked the video, greatly appreciate it if you could give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's absolutely free. And with that said, hope everybody has a great day, great rest of your week. And we'll see you again on the next video. Bye now.